Welcome. This is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Solopreneur Success Strategies here at jane-gardner.com. If you'd like to go and find out more about Mindset Monday, you can go to jgtips.com/mindset. That'll have the current episode of Mindset Monday. And today is a current episode is all about action taking and not action taking. So let's get started. Today is mindset, so we're going to be talking about the mindset of the entrepreneur. We've already had a look at passion, and we've had a look at positive attitude. And now we're having a look at action taking. Last week it was all about perfectionism and how it stopped you from getting into action. And today we're going to be talking about another thing that stopped you from going into action. And of course, I forgot to tell you who I am. I'm Jane Gardner. I work with my husband in our structural engineering firm for the last 20 years, and I still do. We live over in Western Canada. We have dogs and cats, and we like to travel, and I'm out here on the internet for the last 3 years to try and help others start their own home business, because it is a challenge, but it is quite nice to be able to have the freedom to do the business that you love. So we're going to be talking about the mindset of the entrepreneur. And I've just realized I haven't done something, so I'll just go back to me. Hello. And I'll do that. Let's see, can I do it without you? No, I don't think I can. I'm going to have to be improv here and get started with clicking. Yeah, let me see. Can I do it without you? No, I can't. Sorry. We'll have to do it together. I'm going to get the slideshow on for mindset. So one day, if you want to know how to do that, you can give me a shout at jane-gardner.com. But for now, you're seeing it live because I've been busy today. So as I mentioned, this is Mindset Monday, and let's get started. We have been talking about the mindset of the entrepreneur. There are several qualities to the entrepreneur. There's positive attitude. We've talked about passion. We're in the section on action taking. An entrepreneur has to be willing to embrace change. They have to be persistent and relentless sometimes and determined. They have to be willing to take failure as feedback. They have to know what their big why is, their big picture, why they're doing what they're doing. For those times when it is tough and they have a failure, it's always good to have a big why. You need to have patience, and you have to be willing to learn, and you have to be willing to listen to and share with others. So those are some of the traits of the mindset of the entrepreneur that we will be talking about. And today it's all about action taking, or being an action taker. And for those of you who don't know, I have a free copy of the Mindset Entrepreneur Life magazine, a no-brainer mindset trainer with articles about the success mindset, which is another thing we should talk about actually another time, and checklists for having a positive attitude, and of course more information on the mindset of the entrepreneur. It's at jgtips.com/mindset offer. So let's get started. As well, I have an offer on working on mindset of the entrepreneur trainings. It's a weekly training with a magazine, the Mindset Entrepreneur Life, as well as a 5-minute audio or video on mindset with an action step worksheet for you every week, so that you keep into the positive attitude of the mindset of the entrepreneur. rather than going into the negative. So these will help you be positive and retrain your mindset to be that of an entrepreneur, or if you're already an entrepreneur, to have the positivity of the entrepreneur. So it's a no-brainer mindset trainer at jgtips.com/mindsettrain, MINDSETTRAIN. And so let's have a look at what we were talking about last week on action. You have to be an action taker when you're an entrepreneur. And success is going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm, according to Winston Churchill, which I would agree with. I've been here on the internet for 3 years, and I've certainly had a lot of failure, but I keep on going because I have the passion to want to be able to help others. So don't let the fear of failure stop you from taking action. Imperfect action is better than no action. And that's my motto because I thought of it. No, I haven't seen anybody else mentioning it. But imperfect action is better than no action at all. Certainly when you're not having action, you don't know what's going to happen next. So it's always good to have some kind of action to see where you're going. So I was a procrastinating perfectionist, I declare. I was perfecting the plan without any action. I was doing some actions, but they weren't the actions to move me forward in my business. So now my motto is that I pledge I'm taking action every day to move forward in my business. That's my pledge. And that should be your pledge as well, to take action every day to move forward in your business. Don't sit there making perfect plans, because perfect plans don't get you into action. Imperfect plans, moving in them, do. So last week we talked about perfectionism as being one way that you don't get into action. And perfectionism is unattainable, as you can imagine. It being basically you never feel that anything is perfect. So therefore, it leads to procrastination, because you plan and plan and plan and perfect the plan, and you don't take the action. So you're procrastinating because you're a perfectionist and you want to have a perfect plan before you get started. That is not a good idea. So another reason for inaction is the fear of failure. This is also what can lead to procrastination. If you don't try, you can't fail. So then, of course, you don't try. You can't accomplish anything without taking action. So if you find your life is stuck in one place, it's possibly that the fear of failure is preventing you from moving forward in action. So reframe the idea of failure. Recognize failure as one of many results instead of the only result of something that you do. I like to think of failure as a mistake, and that you learn from that mistake and you move on and try another way to go instead. I didn't add a slide on that, but I feel that failure is a mistake, and we all know mistakes can be corrected by moving into another direction or another way or another portion of the business, whatever. So the more often you fail, the more quickly you'll reach your goal, as you will be in motion. So expect to fail. Don't be afraid of failing, because that fear will stop you from taking action. So don't make fear of failure an obstacle to getting things done. Nothing needs to be perfect, so just get busy and get things done. Just go forward, as I mentioned last week, and like a step by step or piece by piece. Put together the pieces until you get the whole. Put together the steps until you finish the project. But get moving. Always be in action. That's one of the mindsets of the entrepreneur trait, is being an action taker. So if you're an action taker, welcome. You're an entrepreneur. One of the traits, anyway. So for more on mindset, check out jgtips.com/mindset. That will have the current show of Mindset of the Entrepreneur. If you're listening on audio, you can see me on video, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and jgtips.com/YouTube. And I have the Solopreneur Success Strategies week on there for you to go back and review the other episodes of the Mindset of the Entrepreneur. And as I mentioned, I have an offer of jgtips.com Mindset Train, and it's a magazine and worksheets and videos or audios by me on training yourself to be an entrepreneur and have the mindset of the entrepreneur. So it's a no-brainer mindset trainer. So believe it or not, we're actually going to be talking about trait. We'll be talking about action taking, and we'll have another reason that a person doesn't take action. So it's quite a big one, the action taking, and quite a thing that gets people stuck in their and not going forward in their business. So I think the very simple thing would be to say that just recognize that whether or not you're actually moving forward in your business, don't worry about it's imperfect forward action. At least it's action, and it's correct action. It's not perfecting the plan. It's not perfecting the course. It's not perfecting how to do one thing. Always, well, this is also another thing that I didn't mention, but always think in your head every day, is this going to be moving me forward in my business towards the money? Because you don't have a business if you don't have money. Well, transactions. And even if you're moving forward towards the money and getting closer, that's much better than sitting and stopping and wondering, will I ever be an entrepreneur? So please take action today. And we'll be talking about another thing that stops you from taking action next week. This is Jane Gardner of Solopreneur Success Strategies, and I'd like to thank you for listening. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel over at jgtips.com/YouTube. Thank you.